My reaction is I'm proud of the employees that found this, followed through with this, investigated this. That's the part that I focus on. The fact that I have a rogue employee that did something extremely stupid, that's on him. The employees, I'm proud of the job that they did. I'm really proud of the fact that they on their day off on a holiday, they jumped to it and put this case together in a 24-hour period. Okay, on January 19th, Martin Luther King Day, we had an unusual circumstance occur in our new property room on McMurtry Drive. The command staff of the sheriff's office immediately pulled up cameras and started going through the video of inside the property room, which was closed because it was a holiday. Inside the property room was one of our employees, a sergeant who was temporarily assigned to the property room, but it was his day off. They watched the video footage and it appeared that he went to a certain area of the property room and removed property and then left the property room. We then went down and did an audit of where he was at and found items that were missing that should have been there. Detectives were called. They executed a search warrant at his residence, recovered the property, the packaging. Turned out to be dope, narcotics, meth pipes, 3 particular items, and he was ultimately arrested for committing burglary and for possession of controlled substance, possession of a controlled substance while in possession of firearms. He was booked into the jail. The bail was set at over $60,000. We transferred him to Tulare County, but as soon as he got there, he posted bail and he's now out on bail. And if you have questions, I'm happy to answer them for you.
One of the charges also includes being under the influence of a controlled substance. Was he under the influence at the time that he removed the evidence from the property room, or is that a prior thing that came out of the investigation as well?
We weren't there when he was in the property room, so whether he was under the influence or not, I don't know. We know that he was whenever we served a search warrant at his residence.
And what type of drugs did he take, or can you tell us what exactly he was under the influence of?
The drugs were in a meth pipe. Whether it was fentanyl or methamphetamine, I don't have any idea. We'll have to analyze that and find out.
So you just mentioned that he was under the influence at the time that the search warrant was issued.
Yes, executed.
Executed. Yes, thank you. The substances that he was under the influence, is that related to the substances that he removed from the property room?
We believe so, but there's no way to absolutely be certain.
So he took pipes, but he didn't take like a bulk amount of meth?
Correct. We have policies in the organization. If you go into the property room in sensitive areas where we keep money, drugs, guns, that type of thing, that there'll be 2 employees. So that was the first alarm, that he was in there on his day off with one person by himself, and the command staff then started viewing all the video of the new technology we have in the new property room, which was very beneficial, and we're able to see everywhere that he went. We audited our property room in December. We will now go through and re-audit the entire property room to make sure that he didn't have a prior theft. He's been assigned there for a couple months on administrative duty. So we're in the process of doing that, but we don't have any information that occurred, but we're going to audit for the integrity of the property room.
Does he have any other prior investigations or write-ups or anything such a matter within the department?
Nothing that I can substantiate as being criminal, no.
Could you talk a little bit about what led him to be on administrative leave? We were told that he was shifted from being a sergeant and moved over to be an administrative assistant. What caused that shift? Was there some incident that happened that caused that shift to happen?
A physical injury of some type. When they come back, they go into light duty or administrative duty until they're well or whatever it is, and then go back to work. I don't know his particular circumstances.
Prior to that shift, what was he doing before? Like, what was his area within the department prior to?
He was the West Sergeant, Night Sergeant.
Now, you mentioned that he had a gun on him. Was this a KCSO issued gun, or was this a firearm of his own that he was
He had
carrying?
several firearms in his residence, and it's illegal to possess drugs and possess firearms.
And when it came to the arrest of the sergeant, when was he arrested and where was he arrested? Was it here in his place of work, or was this outside of work?
As soon as we realized we were going to arrest him, we set up on his house. We waited for him to leave, and he didn't until he went to work on Tuesday morning, and we met him in the parking lot of his workplace.
And then when it comes to some of the items from the property room that he had taken, does this in any way jeopardize the cases that those drugs were connected to, or any of that drug paraphernalia was attached to? Is, tampering with that?
Yeah.
evidence?
Fortunately, the property was taken was meth pipes, which generally is a misdemeanor. One of them happened to have a usable amount of drugs in it. Those are generally misdemeanor cases that wouldn't have a significant impact.
And could you touch on a little bit about what exactly was recovered at his home when officers searched his house?
Yeah, I have not read the search warrant or the return of the search warrant yet. I do know that the packaging of 3 meth pipes packaging was found in the trash. The meth pipes were found in the house.
Gotcha. And then you also had mentioned that there were some firearms that he had in his home that you guys also recovered.
We seized all the firearms that he was in possession of.
Obviously, when a law enforcement officer in any agency, but within your own agency, is accused and charged with a crime, no matter what it is, can you speak to just sort of your response to this and what this sort of shines on within the department itself?
Well, what it shines on the department, quite frankly, is that we police our own. This wasn't somebody calling in reporting a crime. Employees located this, investigated this, worked around the clock to put this case together and arrested him. What is unusual is the tenure of the employee, 25 years on the department, rank of sergeant. That's really unusual and unexpected. But we hire from the human race, and sometimes things go south with the people. I can't explain it, I can't understand it. All I know is the facts are before me, and we'll go forward and prosecute that, submit that case to the DA for prosecution.
Any further reaction to, this sergeant having worked for the department for a little bit over 25 years here? Someone who's been, committed to the sheriff's office for such a significant amount of time?
My reaction is I'm proud of the employees that found this, followed through with this, investigated this. That's the part that I focus on. The fact that I have a rogue employee that did something extremely stupid, that's on him. The employees, I'm proud of the job that they did. And they could have just as easily, when the suspicions were aroused, not done anything. That's not the way we operate, and I'm really proud of the fact that they on their day off, on a holiday, they jumped to it and put this case together in a 24-hour period.
And then also, when it came to the drugs and the paraphernalia he had in his possession, do you guys have any idea of whether it was for his own personal use or if he planned on selling any of that?
I have no idea.
Okay, gotcha. And then moving forward, is there going to be any sort of updated protocol when it comes to that property room? I know you had mentioned that audit of everything that's going to be within that room, but is there going to be any new protocol for handling evidence in that room? Anything else further since this incident?
Well, maybe you missed it, but what I said in the beginning is we have a protocol that requires 2 people. We could require 3 or 4 or 5, but that seems unnecessary. In this particular case, he violated policy that we already had in place by going in there by himself.
So would you say that the protocol you had in place is what led to the eventually finding out?
Well,
that this took
the
place?
policies that we have in place, the technology that we have in the property room, yes, everything together, it's designed to not have someone in there by themselves. It's designed to not have a theft from the organization, especially from the property room. It worked, and it worked well.
Sorry, just checking my list here. I think you touched on this already, but you guys didn't see any sort of signs beforehand that this officer was, potentially sneaking into the property room at any point?
No, if we would have seen that beforehand, we would have taken this a lot more seriously a long time ago. We wouldn't have waited till the incident. You don't expect this to happen at any time. Employees have areas of responsibility. The command staff that's in charge of that property room did exactly what she should have done.
And then also for my own, I guess, personal understanding, would it be accurate to say that the property room is basically the same thing as an evidence room, or are those two completely different things?
The evidence room you have different areas of the property room. You have area for firearms, you have area for narcotics, you have area for homicide cases. But the sensitive areas such as narcotics, drugs, money, guns, those require two people at all times.
Gotcha. And then I was also just curious about this. The sergeant here in this incident back in July of last year got into a lawsuit that involved the Kern County Sheriff's Office. I don't know if you were aware of anything involving that, or if that had any sort of bearing on his move to the administrative office, or anything in that realm at all.
What was the lawsuit for?
Apparently it was some form of highway accident where two individuals sued him. We're still kind of waiting on some more details ourselves, but we were told that there was some form of lawsuit against him and the sheriff's office.
Any accident that occurs, a lawsuit occurs behind it. As far as I know, not related at all to this case.
Okay, gotcha. And then, no, I think you already answered that. Anything else you want to share that you haven't been able to touch on yet about this incident, or the sergeant in this case? Anything else?
Well, we're all disappointed. We hate when this happens, but we have 1,400 employees, and we hire from the human race, and these things reoccur throughout my career. I've seen it over and over, whether it's a theft or sex or guns. We hire from the human race, and we police our own extremely well. Anything else?
Can we shift gears? DA Zimmer put out a press release regarding homicide rates, and from 2021, which was the highest point ever, to last year 2025, it's down 41%. I mean,
Well, that's certainly a good number. We're really pleased that number has decreased dramatically. But we don't take a lot of credit for the homicide rate going up and down, because next year when it goes up 40%, if it does, you'll be back here wanting to know what we're doing wrong. And so homicides are crimes of emotion. Most of the time they know each other, and it fluctuates, but we're really pleased that it's down 41%.
But there's no one factor you can point to and say, this is what happened.
No, I'm not going to point to any one factor that lowers the homicide rate. No, sir.
Okay.